Confused by Medicare choices? You're not alone. It happens pretty much to everybody when it comes time to get into Medicare. And we all, hopefully, at some point, have to get into Medicare. A lot of us, when we turn age 65, some of us, if we continue to work and stay on our group coverage, can be after age 65, can be as late as 80, 85, depends on how long you continue to work for an employer that has group health insurance. But coming into Medicare has some choices and has some decisions that we have to make, and it can be confusing to most and complicated to many. I'm going to go over right now really the basic choices that you have when you come into Medicare so that we get this right. And I'm Keith Armbrecht. I'm founder of Medicare on Video, help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. I can absolutely help you as well. I have a tremendous amount of information online. Make sure you utilize my YouTube channel, download my book. It's all free, easy to use, helps us understand the things that we need to know when we come into Medicare. So first off, let's talk about just basic Medicare. Medicare is broken down into parts. You have Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. They make it complicated to really figure out, but it's really, when we put it all together, not so bad. A and B are what are called original Medicare. A covers hospital stuff. B covers stuff outside the hospital, doctors, specialists, things like that. Not too complicated. Part C really isn't Medicare at all. It's Medicare Advantage. And I don't really know why they lumped it in like it's part of Medicare. Medicare C, Part C, actually takes you off of original Medicare and puts you into a private insurance company's Medicare Advantage plan. All the TV commercials that you see are private insurance companies selling their Medicare Advantage plan. If you've watched my other videos, you know I'm no fan of Medicare Advantage, but I'm going to give a clear overview kind of on the difference between the two and how it works so that you can make the choice, because it's a lot like our politics right now, where half the people are on Medicare Advantage, the other half are in original Medicare. It'd be nice if in our politics we could talk about each other, but here we're going to talk about each option when you come into Medicare, because they don't work for everybody. So we want to make sure that we get what's right for us. So when we have this choice coming in, and that's really going to be our biggest choice coming in, do we stay on original Medicare? And if you do stay on original Medicare, you probably have a Medicare supplement plan. You've probably heard about Plan G or Plan M that covers a lot of the stuff that original Medicare does not, because we don't want big out-of-pocket expense when we're utilizing our Medicare for whatever health situation we have that comes along. The other choice is going to be to go into a Medicare Advantage plan. And then when you do that, there's a multitude of choices there as well. So let's first talk about Medicare Advantage, how it works, and what happens when you choose that. So one of the things to understand is a lot of insurance agents, people like me, focus solely on Medicare Advantage, or primarily on Medicare Advantage, because they find it an easier path from a sales standpoint, because it can have zero premium. There can be no cost to a Medicare Advantage plan, which sounds great, but generally the lower that cost is, either the more restrictive it is or the more it's going to cost as you use it. So generally you get what you pay for. It fits in very well with this type of situation. So there's a lot of sales going on based on TV commercials and things like that, all the happy people that are in Medicare Advantage. But with a Medicare Advantage plan, again, it takes you out of original Medicare. Now you're into a private insurance carrier. It's either going to be an HMO plan or a PPO plan. And within these plans, you have things like you have to get a primary care physician. You'd likely need a referral to go from that primary to a specialist. The big thing, the big topic on the news these days that's talked about a lot is what's called pre-authorization. When you go to your doctor and your doctor says you need something, but we have to get it first approved by the insurance company. Not something I want with my health insurance. If I have something going on that's significant or painful or certainly anywhere near life-threatening, I don't want to wait to get an okay from an insurance company to be able to pay for it. I want to get it done right then and there when we need to do it. But it does have a lot more hoops to jump through and things of that nature that your doctor also generally doesn't enjoy doing either. But that's within a Medicare Advantage plan. And the difference between an HMO and a PPO. An HMO is going to be a scenario where you have to use the network of physicians, network of hospitals, however big or small it may be. And that goes back to that premium kind of thing. The lower it is, the smaller the network is going to be. So you have to stay within a network of doctors and a network of hospitals generally within your immediate area. So it doesn't work good for travel and things of that nature. A PPO tells you that it gives you the ability to go out of network. So you have that same HMO network, but now you also have the ability to go out of network. But what you find out is if you wanted to go out of network, number one, it's going to be very costly, likely cost prohibitive, probably would keep you in network based on cost. And then you also have to find a provider, a doctor, a hospital that's willing to see you as an out-of-network patient where they're going to look to get paid still by that Medicare Advantage company. And it's very difficult to do. And right now in the market, we have a lot of turmoil going on. There's a lot of stuff going on within Medicare where now utilization is much higher these days than it was, primarily back to the pandemic where people didn't get a lot of things done and they were stuck inside, surgeries were canceled, things of that nature. Now it's kind of on the other side where all that stuff that was backed up is now happening and costs are much higher for insurance carriers, so prices are higher. And within some of these Medicare Advantage plans, the PPO option is becoming unattainable for the insurance companies. So they are making it very difficult, number one, for insurance agents. They've cut to zero commission to most insurance agents on a lot of these PPO plans. So you won't have people even showing them to you because they can't make a living doing it and they're not going to do it for free. So your choices in that arena are going to be presented smaller. So just keep that in mind as well, that there's a lot of turmoil going on within Medicare Advantage. There's also turmoil going on with Medicare Supplement, but it's a different kind of thing. So with Medicare Advantage, it's just more restrictive. You have to do a lot more things to get stuff approved. You just lose a lot of your control. With Original Medicare, none of that, really. Original Medicare is absolutely unbelievably easy to use. It's almost too easy. And it's kind of crazy because it is a government-run program, and pretty rarely are government-run programs easy to use. But Original Medicare, and let's hope they don't ever do anything different with it, keep your hands off of it because it's working really well with A and B. You pretty much, if it's medically necessary, it's covered. Your doctor doesn't have to get permission for anything. If he says you need something and you agree, then you do it. If you need to go to a specialist from a primary, you don't have to get a referral. You don't have to go to the primary first and ask permission from them to go to a specialist. If you know you need to go to an ear, nose, and throat, you can generally go to an ear, nose, and throat without having to first go to a primary. And again, stuff I wouldn't want to do. And if you've done it previously on your employer coverage where you have to go through all this rigmarole to get to where you really need to go, it's just, you won't believe how easy it is with Original Medicare. And then with Original Medicare, you can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country. So it's great for travel. If you're going from Florida to Oregon, no big deal. And you have a problem, you can see a doctor in Oregon without any issue whatsoever. As long as they accept Original Medicare, it just gives you the ability to do the things that you want to do. And coverage is pretty fantastic. If you get a Medicare supplement plan, either a Plan G or a Plan N, possibly a GHD, and I've got videos on all this stuff to help you figure that out. But at the end of the day, from a cost standpoint, when you have Original Medicare, so you got your Medicare Part B premium, right now it's about $185 a month, you would pay that either way you go, Medicare Advantage or staying on Original Medicare. You're always going to have that Medicare Part B premium. Medicare Advantage after that may be less expensive on the front side, but will generally be significantly more expensive on the as you use it side. So understand that as well. It's either pay as you go or prepay as you go. So with Medicare supplements, generally going to be higher in the beginning. The premiums will now run, I mean, they used to run about $75 to $100 a month. Now it's about $100 to $125 a month, depends on what plan and where you're located. But at the end of the day, with Original Medicare, a supplement, you would likely possibly have a Medicare drug plan. You're still going to be under about $300 a month total. Now that's assuming that IRMA doesn't fit in. And if you don't know what IRMA is, IRMA makes that Medicare Part B premium, the $185, it's income adjusted. So it can go up as high as $600 from the $185. So if you make significant income And if you make more than 100 grand a year, you better look into IRMA to know exactly where you're going to fall with that Medicare Part B premium. But it's very easy to use once you have it with original Medicare with a supplement. And again, great coverage. You go to the doctor, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. You're happy, your doctor's happy, the hospital's happy, everybody gets paid. Medicare Advantage just can be a different story. So, I don't want to push too hard against Medicare Advantage, even though for me, absolutely, I would never choose Medicare Advantage as long as I always have the option for original Medicare. But we're happy to talk about all that with you. And that's what we do is we make it easy. We find you. I'll show you exactly what I would do in your situation. And if it makes sense, then we do all the work from there. We do all the enrollment. We make it as easy as possible to get your timelines correct and make sure that you don't have any problems going forward. So just visit my site, MedicareOnVideo.com. You can fill out the form. We'll email you a quote for the best Medicare supplement plan in your area so you can see exactly what it would cost. And then we just go from there. Hope you found this helpful. Have a fantastic day.